Well, there is a book, Prophecies about the Future of Europe and Real-Time Events by Stefan Berndt. I'm actually reading this right now. Um, I'm not through it yet, but it gives a compilation of hundreds of seers and viewers of the past century, and it tries to depict it practically the possible future. Well, according to data, well, here's a question as an example. Wann soll der Krieg ausbrechen? When should the war actually start? Well, the Third World War. End of July, beginning of August, well, of some year. Doesn't say what year. Maybe this year, 2012. How long will it last? Very short. Maximum half a year, probably about only 3 months. So this last Third World War will only last about 3 months. And he even quotes, of course, on Nostradamus. He talks about the 3-day total blackout globally, a pole jump, well, when the North Pole and South Pole switch sides. And it's really interesting what he says, actually. He talks about, well, this Third World War, about the Russian invasion, about Russia invading Europe and America being again in a war in the Middle East. As you can observe also with Iran, there is also a war brewing in the far horizon, well, in the event horizon. Israel wants to take out the nuclear facilities in Iran, and the US is building up its military forces in the region. So that is already what you can also already view. So let's assume that this, well, in this year, the war would start in July, end of July, beginning of August, in 3 months. And yeah, well, it's okay. I also read the Tula Temple prophecies. You have to combine the different prophecies from all sources, and that is really good, actually, this book, because he combines also already many different viewers and many different prophets, actually, and he actually tries to explain the course of the war. So let's assume that the war would start end of July, beginning of August this year. Then, of course, divine intervention by God and his army, well, the third power or Imperial Germans. And, of course, the 3-day darkness, 3 day of total blackout is like a 3-day, like a cloud moving all across the world. And this cloud would actually kill most of humanity off. This is so-called type of cleansing, actually. Because in all these prophecies, it is depicted that a very small number of people actually survived this last war, and only the physically best, or the ones that are physically good and healthy and so on, and genetically healthy, will survive it. Well, according to my research, of course. And so, yeah. Also in the Bible, it is also quoted that there will be some type of end-time battle against the forces of darkness or the forces of control, against the forces of liberation. The Imperial Germans, or the third power, are practically I think, according to my research, this divine power that will intervene in the near future. In the Tula Temple prophecies, well, tulatemple.org, it is stated also by many different viewers that this Germany will have a hyper-modern army of, well, UFOs, steel zeppelins, and many different weapons that the world has not seen before. And of course, it describes also, you must not forget that in all different beliefs and religions, there's always some type of avatar or God avatar, or some type of Messiah, or even the second coming of Jesus Christ in the Bible, or Kalki Avatara in the Hindu belief system, that there will be one man that will then intervene globally. Well, intervene, this means that he will show himself to the world and then will bring order and peace on the world. And of course, he will lead this army of God into the last battle against the forces of control and darkness. So it is actually quite an interesting book. It doesn't describe, of course, the coming of Jesus Christ, but it tries to explain. It tries to explain the Third World War, the future prophecies on the Third World War from a scientific perspective. He makes this really, really good because all the different seers, as you can see here, in the third, all see war. War. It's like a convergence. And many also see this 3-day total blackout globally where many people will die. And of course many natural disasters as well. And it's just like what he tries to do is like he takes all the different seers, all the different texts, and he even quotes on the Quran, you know. Well, the world does not end before the next things happen. The appearance of the Antichrist, well, das Auftreten von Dajjal, the Auftreten of Daba, or the appearance of the great animal, or the biblical beast. The sun will rise from the west instead of the east. This means that the world will actually start at pole jump. And when I can try to explain this in a different fashion, the so-called pole jumping or polar, that the poles actually change in position, is when the Federation of Light will try to heave this Earth into a correct position, such that the Earth can make the transdimensional jump in our near future. So we have to connect the Federation of Light, the Imperial Germans, divine prophecy, the hollow Earth theory, of course, the Nazi esoteric survival myth, Jesus Christ, Christianity, the Quran, Hindu, Vedic texts. You have to connect all of this together, yeah? And when you do this, there is actually practically like a puzzle. And this puzzle is like, you can view it from the distance and then you can see, the Federation of Light, or the so-called ETs that are trying to help this Earth come about and be repointed into correct direction. It is also stated in these texts or many prophecies that once this pole jumping happens, or the the south and north pole change, then the Earth is actually turned and put into a correct position. And this way, the equator will be really the equator, north will be north and south will be south, well, reversed actually. But in this way, you can explain why the seers see, like in Europe, a Mediterranean type climate after the so-called turning of the world. As you stated here, upside down. Upside down. There are even maps depicting all the different viewers from the 3-day darkness that will actually start. Again, it's a pretty interesting book on prophecies, and it's of course in German, but yeah, it's nice reading it. Well, I think that is what I wanted to say, and ciao.